It's Stu, and I'm going to talk today about a little TBR. This is spontaneous, and it has to do with books who have been shortlisted for the Kirkus Prize. The Kirkus Prize just announced their winners, and in that announcement, I was curious to learn a little bit more about the Kirkus Prize. So the very quick summary is it's the most lucrative literary prize. There are 3 categories: fiction, nonfiction, and children or young adult books, and it's $150, so $50,000 for each winner. There's a lot of crossover, and so when I was kind of like looking for the few books that I recognize from the shortlist on my shelf and deciding to pull it off and deciding, yeah, that's what I'll do, and I'll bump this like the Latin American authors in translation in Latin American authors. I'll kind of keep that in my mind, but add this to the current reading situation. I noticed that, wow, there's a lot of crossover from the National Book Award, which makes me bring this book up, The Yellow Birds. I pulled this off the shelf just when I was rearranging, and these orange colored books, of which there are several, and I might even talk about them somewhat in review, but they kind of, with the changing leaves, feel like autumn. And then what was on here with this giant National Book Award finalist, this book has been on my shelf from a little free library for some time. So I've decided to prioritize it over a more recently hauled book, say like this one, right? Which is currently sitting on the tentative TBR because it is a National Book Award finalist. However, it's very recently hauled, so I can, say, it's time to give up the National Book Award as a TBR and move on to the Kirkus and or the Latin American authors. So this I plan to listen to on a long drive. I also plan to listen to this Ali Smith's Autumn, having nothing to do with the Kirkus or the National Book Award prizes, but it's obviously called Autumn. I just also very recently hauled this book, so I feel like this is a good recent haul choice. And they're both about a 5-hour listen, and that's about the length of the drive. So I think one coming and one going, and that's kind of my road trip listening plans for the weekend. Currently, I am reading mostly digitally. I started this book in the middle of the night, Sing Unburied Sing by Jesmyn Ward. And this book is relevant because it was a Kirkus Award finalist in the same year as 2 of the other ones in this stack. And also a National Book Award winner. I know Jesmyn Ward won the National Book Award for Salvage the Bones, but I'm almost positive, and you'd think I'd look something like this up. It only loosely matters to me. It helps me curate and be curious about authors and books that I have on my shelf and find a way to prioritize reading them. So this has been on there for a while. It's the orange color. It's a great book. And it was a National Book Award finalist, if not winner, and a Kirkus Award finalist, relevant for what's coming up. Another National Book Award winner, Interior Chinatown. I'm listening to this. I'm almost done. I think I'll be done on my walk this evening and or tomorrow morning. What a romp. That's great. And then my physical read choice is Brightstorm, which has nothing to do with any of the awards. I just decided that I needed... This has been on my shelf so long, and it's something that when I first hauled, I was really excited about. Middle grade fantasy. So kind of keeping the fantasy thread through, as I'm not that much of a fantasy reader, and this reading younger adult or middle grade, and the why I'm reading it in the physical is obvious. So this is my physical book. Up and coming, Kirkus shortlisters. We have Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. This I hauled from a little free library. I've had it for a little bit. And I don't have any other short story collections on my current awards, these two awards, TBR. And it's relevant because it's also a National Book Award finalist. So this, I'm going to pop on there. In the same year, also, that Sing Unburied Sing, her Body and Other Parties, I think these are the same year, very close, is Exit West by Moshin Hamid. I was really excited to have an opportunity to pull a Moshin Hamid book. I have 3 now, and I haven't tried this author. I have high expectations for this author. It's not a very long book, and I'm excited to see if I'm grooving with this offer, because I have 2 other books that I will, decide to keep or unhaul altogether with this one. In the same vein, we got Margot's Got Money Troubles. This is the 2024 shortlister. I got this at a thrift store. There is a certain kind of joy about finding in a thrift situation a really modern book. This is a really modern and even hyped. I tend to not like books that are really hyped because, I don't know, maybe there's already like a shut off in my brain. But I was excited about this book when I hauled it because I thought the premise seemed really great. This is a young girl who gets into OnlyFans, young woman who gets into OnlyFans as, because she's got money troubles. And I thought that was a very contemporary and relevant exploration of a part of feminism that is probably worth talking about. I have also 2 other Ruthie Ford books on my shelf. So I want to see if this offer works for me. If like reading, I also have The Knockout Queen and then one other one. If keeping those on my shelf is something that I want to do, or, I'm kind of making space. I unhauled 2 or 3 or 4 more books that I was like, I probably, given comparison to the other books on my shelf, I'm not going to choose this one, and I want to put it back out into the Little Free Library. So we'll see. I don't suspect for Moshin Hamid. I don't know for Ruthie Thorpe, but let's see. And then finally, and most joyfully, The Heaven and Earth grocery store was a winner of a National Book Award. So it didn't make it on that TBR, but the Kirkus Prize, it also was shortlisted for. So here it comes. This is a large print, joyfully. So this will be, I will start this physical book. This will be a physical selection as soon as I finish Brightstorm. And that's kind of where I'm going to be at with that. So yeah, adding 4 Kirkus Awards and 1 National Book Award to my TBR, thinking about bumping a couple of the National Book Awards off. It's okay. Because I've had plenty of time with it. I will have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 offers by the end of this weekend. So I think that was a good go with it. We'll see. I think I want to prioritize getting to Believers, which I don't even know if I discussed putting this, but this is a National Book Award winner or finalist by Lisa Coe. And I've had this book for a minute, and I want to read this author in case I see her again and want to haul more books. And then Swamplandia. So my 2 priorities are these 2 books. If I continue with the ones I've already pulled, and if I don't, that's also fine. I'm hoping to get to these 2 and then, hop into what I've just discussed as the Kirkus Award. So I had already filmed a TBR video about the Latin American and Latin American authors that I had planned to read. They've been pulled off the shelf and ready, but I think that I'm okay. I'm going to hold that one a little. I have some buddy reads coming up to talk about on that one. And yeah, I will start focusing on that one more when I get back from the trip, and that's okay. Again, I am more excited to kind of just do get a little bit more into mood reading and have a kind of almost feeling overwhelming TBR and just read them until, say, the end of the month of October. So that's what I'm leaning for, like pulling off these books relevant to the three themes: National Book Award, Kirkus Award, and Latin Heritage Month and History Month, and then like just kind of reading through them until they're due, especially if I've checked out the digital or audio version. And then it's okay, either making decision to unhaul unread, fine. If what I think, like, compared to all the other books, is just something I'm really still excited for, and or put it back on the shelf and it'll come back around again. So that's it. We'll see what I actually get read when I do my future reading reviews.